Hey everybody, this isn't the video that I was planning on making today, but in light of recent events, I felt that I should let you guys know what's going on. Now, if you remember, in December of 2018, I did a video entitled Bar Association Teaches Systemic Discrimination Against Men. It did extremely well. I got 68,464 views and I got 3,800 likes. Now, with that in mind, in March of this year, I received the following complaint from YouTube that basically says that they received a privacy complaint from the individual in the video. And that's the individual in this video right here. And her name is Leslie Levy. Let me see if I can find it right here for you. I'm going to kind of scroll through this here. I don't think I do. Take a look here. Let me see if I can find the actual footage for you. There we go. So there she is right there, Leslie Levy. She's a family justice attorney with the Williamson County Attorney's Office. Okay, she's the one who actually filed this privacy complaint, this one right here. Then less than a month later, she filed a second privacy complaint for this video here. Corrupt attorney Leslie Levy requests YouTube conceal her crimes. Now, the reason that I titled that video thusly is because in the first video, this one here, I was able to show where Leslie Levy, in her speech, was basically a corrupt public official who was concealing domestic violence from a criminal standpoint. She was telling attorneys and teaching attorneys that they should not report the crime of domestic violence to the Williamson County Attorney's Office, where she could actually prosecute them. And one of her reasons for not wanting that to happen is because she's lazy. And she says so in the video. Now, then, after I received this second complaint, I received a third complaint on the third video. So the second complaint, we'll go back here. The second complaint was at 11:18 a.m. on April 5th, 2019. The third complaint was at 11:49 a.m. on April 5th, 2019. And again, this is about the first video again. So originally, YouTube said, okay, we're going to take a look at this. They left the video live. Then the second time I got a complaint, I argued my case and they left the video live. The third time it happened, they made another complaint against the first video again and they left it live. Now, 4 days ago, on July 13th, 2019, I received the following complaint. Please provide us with a copy of the individual's privacy waiver or consent for your production within 5 business days, and we will fully consider the merits of your claim. Well, what are they talking about? This video right here. Bar Association teaches systemic discrimination against men. That's this video right here. There's Leslie Levy, family justice attorney, Williamson County Attorney's Office. Corrupt public official. That's my view, but based on the research I did to make that particular video, a lot of people agreed with my assessment of this. Now, with that in mind, here's my response. To whom it may concern, I'm in receipt of your email requesting consent to use the video footage contained in my video. My 3-part response is as follows. Number 1, consent to use the video footage from the video copyright owner. Public employee Leslie Levy owns no rights to the footage used in my video. Enclosed, you will find a true and correct PDF copy of consent to use the video footage from the individual who filmed and owns the copyright of the footage I used in the video in question. His name is Jeff Morgan. If you have any questions of Mr. Morgan, he kindly provided his contact information so that your team may follow up with him directly. Note that on page 2, paragraph 3 of the letter, Mr. Morgan affirms that he is the owner of the video, and he confirms that he filmed page 1, paragraph 1, on or about October 26, 2018. Further, Mr. Morgan confirms that he received permission to film the October 26, 2018 footage from the Williamson County Bar Association, who sponsored the presentation that was actually filmed. Additionally, on page 2 of the letter, Mr. Morgan confirms that not only did Ms. Levy know and tacitly approve of being filmed, she interacted directly with Mr. Morgan as he was filming the conference himself. Number 2, my video demonstrates public official Leslie Levy enables domestic violence. This is a newsworthy exception to YouTube's privacy terms of service policy. If the YouTube team reviewed the first film I created in this series, then your team knows that I outlined at least 3 laws that Leslie Levy is in violation of. This video and the others in this series are at all times newsworthy, which is one of the specified exceptions to YouTube's privacy terms of service policy. As a public employee, Leslie Levy on film is recorded committing public corruption by virtue of telling domestic violence victims to not report the crime to domestic violence to her office, because, as she admits in the film, as a public official, she is too lazy to prosecute them. The Texas laws she is in violation of are cited within the first video itself. If YouTube removes this video or any other in this series, you're helping a corrupt public official, Leslie Levy, enable domestic violence against women and children by virtue of assisting this corrupt public official to conceal her crimes. Number 3, Leslie Levy is using YouTube's reporting system to retaliate against / bully me. I'm in possession of no less than 4 attempts, if you include this current email thread, of corrupt public official Leslie Levy making repeated privacy complaints to silence my reporting on her public corruption. This, in and of itself, may be a crime, especially since my reporting may fall under whistleblower protections to such unlawful retaliation. The first complaint I received via email was on March 7, 2018 for the first video in this investigative reporting series. YouTube decided in my favor. The second complaint I received was on April 5, 2018 at 11:18 a.m. local time for the second video in this investigative reporting series. YouTube again decided in my favor. The third complaint I received was on April 5, same day, 2018, at 11:49 a.m., again regarding the first video in this series. YouTube again decided in my favor. Now this fourth complaint is on the first video of this series. This appears to be a pattern of harassment and a misuse of YouTube's reporting system to silence voices that speak out against public corruption and those who speak out against domestic violence enablers like corrupt public official Leslie Levy. Conclusion: it is important to note that Ms. Levy never filed a privacy complaint with the Williamson County Bar Association, nor did she ever object to being filmed when she was notified it was to take place. Finally, if you research the records, the filming occurred at a taxpayer-funded courthouse and as a public official paid for by taxpayer dollars, working in her capacity as a public official, working for the Williamson County courts as a public employee. Leslie Levy has no expectation of privacy in any way. She is a public official acting in a public capacity in a taxpayer-funded location at all times during the filming. As such, she has no expectation of privacy. This is well-settled law in every jurisdiction in the United States. Check with your legal team. You will see that my view is objectively accurate. Isn't it bad enough that the news has outed YouTube for allowing terrorists, child abusers, and pedophiles to network on your platform? But now you're going to consider providing cover for corrupt public officials who enable domestic violence also? If YouTube truly feels it needs to silence my voice for speaking out against domestic violence enablers like corrupt public official Leslie Levy, this decision will have potentially devastating consequences. My guess is that conservative media and politicians will have a field day with this story. This is not a good look, and I guarantee it's one that will eventually come back to bite YouTube, especially given YouTube's aforementioned well-documented pattern of behavior. If YouTube continues to support abusers while silencing people like me who speak out against abuse, the platform will eventually die in disgrace, sooner rather than later. Please take these facts into consideration when making your final decision. Also, if YouTube decides in my favor, again, please bar Leslie Levy or anyone associated with her from making additional fraudulent privacy complaints against my account in the future, as I'm tired of this ongoing campaign of harassment against me. #Feminist Lives Matter. Thank you. Now, with that said, the third video of this series, I actually created a bar complaint so that if people thought that she violated any of the Texas state laws or any of the rules of professional ethics for attorneys, that people could download, sign, and send this bar complaint into the State Bar of Texas and to her boss at Williamson County. Now, with that said, you don't have to be a resident of Texas or a resident of the county to file a bar complaint. You could be anywhere in the United States, honestly, or anywhere in the world. As long as you see it, you can report it. Now, for those who did not see the full video of Leslie Levy's corruption, I have a link here for this video as well. Now, this entire a bar complaint and this entire synopsis of this story, including the first 3 videos associated with this, they are located on my website at misandrytoday.com. Now, the reason I chose to host this bar complaint on my website is because Miss Leslie Levy had the first complaint, which was located at FileDropper. She had it removed. So I reloaded to FileDropper and I loaded it to Pastebin as well. And then, of course, I'm now hosting it here as well. So if you want to get a copy of this complaint, you want to review it, you want to review the information in any of these videos, feel free to do so. The reason that I'm letting you guys know about this is because I've made 3 videos on the subject of Leslie Levy. If YouTube decides to pull those 3 videos down, I'll get 3 strikes and my channel will go away. So they will ban me and permanently silence me on their platform, all because I was reporting on a corrupt public official. Now, I want you to consider that and understand that this is where YouTube is going. For all their virtue signaling, for everything else that's happening, they're actually taking this privacy complaint seriously. And if they drop my channel, of course, they're basically admitting that they're willing to silence those who speak out against domestic violence enablers. So with that said, check out misandrytoday.com. Check out the website. If you want to support me, at the bottom of the page, you can support me via Subscribestar or Patreon. You can subscribe to my channel via BitChute. You can check me out on Gab. You can check me out on Minds. You can check out my book on Amazon. You can also support me via Twitch. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to me via twitch.tv/misandrytoday. It costs you nothing. It costs you zilch, nothing, but it does help this channel. And finally, you can go to my shop, which is now open, and you can purchase merchandise right from the website at misandrytoday.com. So guys, I just wanted to let everybody know what is going on and what is the potential future of my channel should YouTube choose to side with a domestic violence enabler and choose to retaliate against those like me who speak out against such public corruption. Hope you guys have a great day. This is DDJ, and this is your dose of Misandry Today.